Hello, my audience. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Hello, my audience. That's much better. Clear my throat. That's better. I clear my throat, okay? Now let's try that again, okay? Hello, audience. Nah, that's better. Much better on the throat talking now. I'm reviewing Christopher Nolan Batman movie from the trilogy of the Dark Knight trilogy. If you're one of those people that grew up on the 2008 Dark Knight movie and ended up shaping your childhood for some reason, like weird people on the internet say say they grew up with the Dark Knight movie and decided to really shape how they view movies and shape their childhood and whatever, blah blah blah, all that bullshit to praise the Dark Knight movie from 2008. Change this channel because you're not gonna like what I have to say. Of why I'm giving this a 7 out of 10 for 1 point above average. That means it's 1 point above mediocrity. So I like it, in other words. But I wouldn't say it's perfect cinema or groundbreaking cinema or great cinema. You can say it's Oscar winning, but then again, I think an Oscar award could be considered a Razzie. I think Oscar-worthy trophies and people that reward movies for trophies and for Oscars, and then it should be on the same category for people who award movies and give them a Razzie and give them a trophy, like Catwoman got a Razzie trophy. To me, it's not saying nothing positive about the movie just because some people think it deserves an Oscar. For me, it's telling me the opposite, that this movie stinks. Now, before I go praising, complaining, and bitching all of the problems I have with the bullshit of this movie, I want to say I don't entirely hate this movie, I just don't entirely love this movie like other people will seem to. On the other hand, I keep running across in person. Too many seem to like this movie a lot. But I didn't like this movie a whole lot. I thought it was kind of dumb. As Batman and Robin, or the third installment to the Dark Knight movie. I thought it was as dumb as those Batman movies. Why? Because, I mean, they're not bad movies. They're kind of like the, they aren't entirely bad movies. This movie isn't a bad movie, and the trilogy not entirely awful. That is part of the Dark Knight trilogy. And, I'm one of those people that thinks Batman Begins didn't never need a sequel, and because the original creators probably didn't plan on doing a sequel, they just plan on doing one outing, and that'll be done with the character by Christopher Nolan. But I think Christopher Nolan got greedy because of so much positive feedback to Batman Begins. So he directed a half-baked script for the sequel for Rises in the Dark Knight of 2008. Well, I think both sequels are equally as good. Dark Knight Rises is slightly better, but mostly because of well, Tom Hardy's Bane really is the best character in the movie, next to Jim Gordon, who actually finally takes on who actually is a full-time Jim Gordon in this movie. Because remember the first sequels, he wasn't Jim Gordon, he was Gordon, but he wasn't the Commissioner Jim Gordon that you know from the comic. He got like less. He got a low promotion in the sequels, and in the sequel Dark Knight, he finally got Jim Gordon, commissioner job, and then he still taking that job in the 2012 film, The Dark Knight Rises, the final installment to the trilogy which Nolan did. Well, I could go on to a complaint saying how I think it's kind of stupid and pointless to have Joker in this movie, played by a talented actor, Heath Ledger, who does do a good job of Joker, of his version of Joker, but it's heavily edited and barely in the film. I mean, he's in the movie. He's just not in the movie much compared to Jack Nicholson's Joker from 1989 movie. I mean, I also was kind of stupid how Joker kills majority of his victims off screen, and then he just shows their corpse bodies on camera when it was before he killed them. But never, I come to think of it, the only time we saw Joker actually kill somebody in this movie is when when it was shot from a victim's angle, and saw what Joker did was the guy that played Spawn in the Spawn '90s flick. The same actor played Spawn. Yeah, he gets killed by Joker in a brutal way. But, it shoots away from it, so the only person that sees the brutal kill is not the audience. It's the victim that's part of the movie. That's kind of why it needs to be PG-13. Because if it was rated R, we would have gotten a better Joker with Heath Ledger's Joker. But no, it has to be watered down for PG-13 family values audience. You fucking assholes! I'm just saying the problem with this is that in the comics, Joker has always been like an R-rated character, like especially in later years, where he has committed more murder, more crimes in brutal fashion to other people in Gotham. And I just didn't appreciate how I thought it was kind of stupid that this movie toned down the Joker's killings for PG family values audience. Fuck children. I hate PG-13 when you bring Joker into this PG-13 family values audience rating into a feature film, and you bring Joker of all the people. It just tells me how stupid and clueless you are as filmmakers and audience. For not, you brought in Joker, you could have made him really cool and scary, went for R-rated edge. And then, maybe you couldn't use him for sequel Joker with the guy who played Joker would have been dead by the sequel. But you should have made this movie R-rated. That's my biggest complaint. Second, it is kind of stupid how Batman's not shown to be a bit unstable, as crazy and not far off being crazy like the Joker. Like in the Batman comics, he's kind of a psychopath. In the Batman comics, pretty much every iteration of Batman I've seen, even the 60s one, made it clear that Batman's a bit, obsessive with trying to save every life in Gotham. And makes that clear due to the trauma of his family's death in the comics. And that motivates him, and that's supposed to be kind of like what makes him a little not far off being completely crazy. Like in the comics he is crazy, but not far off, but like completely 100% there. But getting there he always gets feeling he's like on the edge of, he says this, not far off from the Joker's craziness. In the comics, you feel like, yeah, that's and it made some like great stories and great character, iconic moments with Batman and Joker, was that dynamic. And I felt like the Burton movie handled it better with the dynamic between Batman and Joker. And that Batman and Joker had less screen time than this Batman and Joker, and this sucks. What a cop-out. Yeah, it's kind of sad that Heath Ledger only had one opportunity to play Joker in one movie. Because this was the last career he played before he died and filmed. So it's kind of sad in that respect, but it was also more sad as a Joker fan and as a Batman DC fan that, Joker got very edited out of his own movie with a second outing that he, look, Joker get very, it seems like he's very, very heavily removed from this movie just to get that PG-13 rated mark. When I feel this movie was intentionally supposed to be rated R, but they realized they couldn't make as much money off the public, so they watered it down and edited down for a PG-13 family values audience, and I hate all of you people who are loving this movie and seeing it. Wow. Sorry. I just really don't like this movie that much. I don't hate it, I just don't love it that much, okay? So I have issues with it, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. That I'm going to accept all. I'm moving that. I'm just going to express all of them in this video. Yeah, I'm only reviewing Dark Knight 2 because I'm too worn out to this video. Of the Dark Knight 2000 review I reviewed. Yeah, it was kind of stupid to bring Two-Face into the movie and make Harvey Dent Two-Face for no reason, just for fan service, and make more money off of people like DC fans of the comics. When this has nothing to do or benefits the plot of The Dark Knight that's going on in the sequel outing to The Dark Knight, which is the sequel to Batman Begins, where it started the first one, and then continue on with Batman The Dark Knight in 2005. The point is, Two-Face, I feel like, has nothing to do with the plot, nor he benefits the plot of these characters. He ruins the movie, Two-Face. He sucks. He sucks more than Tommy Lee Jones portrayal on Two-Face from Batman Forever. Ain't shit, it's true. Batman Forever was a more comic book portrayal of Two-Face, a more faithful, accurate portrayal of Two-Face than this Two-Face piece of shit. He doesn't have a split personality. He's just a burnt, disfigured guy that wants to revenge for his girl. What a cry pussy he is, and comes across. Two-Face comes across as just a most whiniest, narcissistic bitch. How much self-love how much attention does Two-Face need in this movie? Apparently a lot. Because he's been more than what he should be in it. I think he has more screen time than Joker Heath Ledger. I shit you not. They made that fuck up in the movie. And nobody mentions it. And one of the next thing I nobody mentions about plot hole, Batman says he's going to save Rachel, but he goes to save Harvey Dent. After he tells Commissioner Gordon that he's going after Rachel, after he mentions Rachel, he's going after for save Rachel, and then I don't know what happened. It's almost like he forgot what location he was supposed to go to. Our hero, Batman, everyone. Our hero, world's greatest detective. He gets the name from the cops. What he hardly ever uses his detective skills or his brain. He just thinks with his penis and bronze. Because bronze makes right? That's all we need for heroes. Tell me. Bronze makes right? That's all. It's not right for right makes right. It's might makes right. That's clearly the point of it. We're trying to say what a bunch of hogwash bullshit this movie was. It's just trying to be deep and poetic and making people think they think they're making art, but what they're really making is Jennifer Lawrence movie like The Cells. Starring Jennifer Lawrence and a guy that can act, the guy who played Kingpin in the Daredevil series. What's his name? Vincent D'Onofrio, I think his name is, D'Onofrio something? The guy who plays Kingpin in the Daredevil Born in the original Daredevil Netflix series before Disney streamed it on Netflix and ruined Netflix away from just streaming the movie series. The first 3 seasons was streamed by Netflix and Disney. So I take Netflix rights and stream the movie and then put it on their streaming service forever. You want to know what's sad about this? It's something of an accomplishment when I think Lost in Space movie revival reboot franchise. You know the Lost in Space 90s movie that was a reboot of the original Lost in Space show? I think that was more complex character drawing than the Dark Knight movie trilogy. The whole fucking trilogy is more complex character drawing than anything that Christopher Nolan directed was the Dark Knight trilogy. The 90s Lost in Space movie. Holy fuck. That's a incredible accomplishment. Our hero, Batman 1, taking suck and mediocrity to a new level for the audience and comic book fans everywhere, making movie instead of worse and more stupid people. Heck, I don't see this movie as I think I honestly, you know, Wild Wild West movie was supposed to be an adaptation / reboot of the old show, same name. And you know something? I like the Wild West movie more than anything Batman did with Christian Bale, starring Will Smith. Yep, I like the Wild West movie more than the Christian Bale Batman trilogy, you assholes and audience who like this movie so much, trilogy. I hate so much of this movie, but I like some of it. I don't exactly hate entirely the whole thing, but I like more from the Wild West than a character I'm more familiar with, which is Batman. I'm less familiar with Jones West than Batman, Bruce Wayne's Batman. Yet, you would think that Bruce Wayne's Batman would make you more happy to see it in a movie, big budget, live action form. But no! I like the Wild West movie from the 90s more. What an accomplishment! My God, my blood pressure's high. I feel. Maybe. I need a drink of water. Oh. Oh. So yeah, I've been on a bit of an amazing journey there, but I hope you can now understand my problem with the 2008 Dark Knight movie flick, directed by Christopher Nolan's imagination that's delusional and stupid. More than the Wild Wild West movie. Imagination, world building. Excuse me. I am going to end this video now because I said all I need to see, and that's why the Dark Knight has a fucking let down. It gets a 7 out of 10 for above mediocre, only above 1 point of mediocrity. Goodbye. Subscribe. Like this video. Grow my audience. Please, my audience. Bye.